Welcome back to Sport Lab. Manchester United's struggles continue as Nottingham Forest secured a crucial 1-0 win at the City Ground. And guess who came back to haunt his former club? That's right, Anthony Elanga. The Swedish winger put on an electric display to hand Forest all 3 points, while United's lack of attacking firepower was on full display. Let's break it all down.
Performance to celebrate for the fans. This team have been lighting up the banks of the River Trent this season, and it feels like there is just no stopping them. Another performance to impress.
Brilliant. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, it is. Sorry, Kaz.
Yeah, we were just, we were just chilling, right?
Yeah, we was, yeah. But like Kaz said,
you were enjoying the fireworks, weren't you?
Yeah, it was nice. But like Kaz says, the Forest and the trajectory that they're on, they're a bit of a laughing stock a few seasons ago with the signings and everything what they're doing. Like, you know, they brought Nuno in, who's somebody that, again, you know, had a terrible time at Tottenham. We saw he's done some great stuff at Wolves, had a terrible time at Tottenham. We didn't know where he was going. He's come back here with all the chaos that was there, for want of a better word, and he's kind of like steered their ship in the right direction now. And they look to me like they probably will make the top 5 and get Champions League, and they're rightly so, because I think at this business end of the season they've really come to the fore with the results that they've picked up.
Yeah, I think sometimes everyone's so quick to judge managers, to the point that you were making about Nuno. You know, if you have a bad season somewhere, it's really easy to just remember them for that. But Nuno has just turned this team around. They finished just above the relegation zone last season. They were 17th. So what he has done and what he's added to this group of players is a lot to be proud of.
Stability, but, you know, some of the signings they've made, you know, other people... Where did they find Murillo from? You know, he'd hardly played. I think it was Corinthians, about 5 or 6 million off the top of my head. And they get him out, and he's unbelievable. And his centre-half partnership as well, colossal. And they've been the key to that. The goalkeeper, you know, Sells coming in. But everyone has played their part. But the manager's connected it. Give him a shape, give him a system, and give him belief. And tonight, I mentioned it, you're out with your top goal scorer. But it's the belief and the confidence. And then at home, the fans... They're a massive football club, and they absolutely deserve to be where they are. And you're right, at the business end of the season, where other people's legs, they tire, they kind of fall away, they're like a train and they've kept going. So massive applause to the manager and the players, because they've done a great job.
And I feel like everyone's been waiting for that to happen, but it just hasn't, has it? And ironically, the player that they've signed from Manchester United was the one that scored the winning goal today.
Unfortunately.
What did you make of the goal?
It was a fantastic goal because of his ability, his pace, which is something we've always known he's had. But I think that this is electric pace, but he's got to be taken down there. You know, I think that Garnacho takes him down there. He's going to get a yellow card simply because he's got players behind him. But you've got to stop him. Garnacho knows this guy, knows the pace that this man has, and you can see him. Everybody's back. They can't catch him. Mazraoui's backing off. He should have pulled him down there. You know, Elanga he doesn't even look to his teammate. He's just focused on getting there and scoring. And you know what I mean? You have to give him credit, because it's a fantastic goal from where he's come from. That's come from Manchester United's corner.
And he does it respectfully there. He recognises he used to play. And again, another signing. You know what they've done. They've assembled a brilliant squad. And again, from the manager, but the belief, the confidence, the distance that he's had to cover, and when you get to when you're dribbling at that pace, at that distance, by the time you get towards the goal, usually you're exhausted. But to have the composure then to finish it as well, it's brilliant.
Well, that's what they've got for us as well, Kaz. You know, the defensive, like you've spoken about, Milenkovic and Murillo, Ola Aina on the right as well. He's got to get some mention, in Yates. But it's the way that they know that they can defend resolutely, and they've got the pace. Remember, Callum Hudson-Odoi wasn't playing today, and you're rightly, Chris Wood wasn't playing today as well. But they've still got somebody with the potency to be able to, from an opposing corner, run all the way up the other end and score. And that's how you win games, when you've got that kind of match winner.
And also, all these players, it just feels like they all know their role. They know it really well. They play as a really good unit. They're a great team.
Like I said, they're a team. Our confidence is high. Great FA Cup win as well. So they're flying at the moment. And I don't see... for me, they'll comfortably make top 4, not top 5. They'll be in the top 4 for me. Because they've been consistent, and they're a team, and they've stuck together. And, yeah, I think it will be an excellent season come the end of it.
And what a time to be a Forest fan. Because to get into the Champions League is a huge thing to be able to do.
Well, when you consider they've got previous in the Champions League. Obviously, when it was the European Cup, they're a big club that have been in I wouldn't say the doldrums, because they've come back to the Premier League and they've done well, even though we thought it was going to go a bit pear-shaped with the amount of signings. But like I say, Nuno's steadied the ship, and now, you know, like you said, they were 17th last season, and now they're third in the league and looking like they definitely will qualify for Champions League. They're in the semi-final of the FA Cup. It's a massive turnaround where the manager has got to be in there for Manager of the Year with what he's done.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a really good shout. OK, so we've spoken about Forest. Let's now focus in on their opponents today, Manchester United. Here's their manager, Ruben Amorim.
Ruben, not the result you wanted. What did you make of the match as a whole and your team's performance?
I think we controlled the game, but we already knew it, that this team can score goals out of nothing. And then when they score, we change the game a little bit for what they want. And then we tried sometimes with good opportunities, but I think in the last third, the last cross, the last pass, the last assist wasn't there. And then when we don't have that, we cannot score goals. But we have some situations, but this season is like that. We try it. We had a lot of shots on goal. We pushed the opponent to the last third, but in the end we had a lack of quality in the final third.
You came very close at the end, though. Were you pleased with the character that your players shown to fight towards the end?
Of course, but we need to win games, and I think we deserve more in this game. That is clear. But was our fault. We need to be better in the last third. We cannot concede in the transition of a set pieces. So we should have won this game, not even draw. But in the end, we lost 3 points.
What disappointed you the most about the goal that they scored?
Everything, because you know the characteristics of the team, and you know that one goal can put them in a situation that they love, for more space for transitions, and we have to score 2 goals to win a match. So that is frustrating because it was in the beginning of the game. So we changed the game and we helped them to win 3 points.
Despite the result, you had been building a bit of momentum before the international break, but it is now still just 6 wins in your 19 Premier League games. Are you seeing any progress at all?
Yeah, I see it in the game. So I don't lie to myself. So everybody can say whatever they want to say. I see some things, but we need to win games. So we go to the next game.
What can you salvage from the rest of this Premier League campaign?
Go to the next match and not focus on that. What we can save. We have the Europa League and we have a next game in the Premier League, and that is the focus.
The focus is to look ahead, but if you look back in Manchester United's Premier League history under Ferguson, with the 810 matches played, they lost 114. But since him, with the 448 matches played, they've lost the same number of games. That sort of sums it all up, doesn't it, Righty?
Yeah, but you are comparing a lot of people to Sir Alex Ferguson. You know, I think he's a 1 in a million. You do feel for Ruben Amorim because I don't know how many games he's been there now, but we're seeing maybe little bits of improvement. Like he mentioned, there's little bits of improvement. I can't see it personally properly, because when they're in a game and you're trying to see something different, especially when they go behind, you know, it's when they come alive. And I don't know, maybe once the summer comes, maybe get some players in, we might see more progress with them. But at the moment, I think they just want this season to end.
I think the fans, I sense that they were happy with some of the performances before we went on the break. They felt like maybe his ideas were being implemented and the players were starting to show some progress, as you just said. But tonight, it just didn't feel like that.
No, I mean, I think the last Europa League game I was there at Old Trafford, it did feel very different, scoring, the energy in the crowd. I felt like there was maybe a point to prove in some interviews that had been previously said about the team, about the squad. But look, tonight it's difficult because we're beaten by a better team and you don't have to have the ball for large parts of the game, but you have to be clinical. And what Man United have, they have a -4 goal difference. So as the manager alluded to there, we have to be better in the final third. Well, having a -4 goal difference isn't good enough. And where I think in terms of the focus is on the Europa League, Europa in terms of trying to get into that Champions League spot, you have to look at their table there. When you're making cost cuts for your fans, every position in the Premier League, 12th, 11th, is worth millions of pounds. So it's actually massive to try and move up the table in the Premier League as well when you're trying to get money when everything is being stripped back of the club. So it's a massive few weeks. They've got Lyon in between that. They've got Newcastle. They've got the derby, coming up as well. It's a busy 4 or 5 games for United, and it wasn't ideal for them tonight. And
if it wasn't for Murillo's amazing clearance, we could have been looking at a different scoreline. You kind of felt that it might happen for them, but it didn't in the end.
No, there is always something about United where I genuinely thought they would get something. I was saying it towards the end there. No one believed me, and there it was, Murillo. Murillo came and like, he saved them. His great movement from him, his awareness to, in that moment, to sense the danger. Look at him, he's already seen it. You know, he's obviously got a block there, but then that there from Harry Maguire was really good reaction from him. But it's great defending. It's great defending, and they know what to do. They know to defend very well because they've got players that can break and do what we saw Anthony Elanga do.
I said he was 5 million, he was 15, but he was worth the 10 million for that. Of course he was.
Exactly.
The goal line. But the awareness, as rightly said, there was spot
on. Overall, Manchester United, 13th in the table. The focus, although he's saying the focus is on the next game, it's got to be on the Europa League surely now for them.
Yeah, but I still feel it will be the next game, but, you know, the main focus will be the Europa League because they know what can come from getting to the latter stages of that, winning that. So, of course, that will be Man United's, like, saving grace this season. But again, you know, they're safe in the Premier League. It's not like they've got a problem with the Premier League. So I think all the energy will probably go on the Europa League.
And if they were to win that and get into the Champions League, then it's a big task.
It'd be just like Man United to do it that way as well.
It would, wouldn't it? You know? But then the task ahead is huge to try and get them ready for the Champions League.
Well, they're not a Champions League team, as what we're watching, because they're nowhere near it in terms of the Premier League table. But as rightly said, if there's anyone that could do it, it probably would be them to go and lift the trophy. And they have performed quite well in it, so you won't back against them. But it is their focus, sole focus, I believe. But like I said, when the owner's making cost cuts, every position in the Premier League is worth millions of pounds to try and climb that table. That's also vital for them as well. And you don't want to have where you finish, whether it be 13th, 14th, come the end of the season and have that for Man United, because it's not good enough for them.
Well, a club that look like they are going to be playing Champions League football next season are Nottingham Forest. Yes. And again, they've impressed. The fans have so much to be pleased about. But they will also have to have an interesting summer to try and get some more depth in the squad to cope with Champions League football, surely, as well.
Yeah, because obviously the levels and the standards are much higher. You're probably going to... They've got players that you can see that will probably do okay in the Champions League, but then when you're going into Champions League, there is another level that you have to go to, especially if you're going in, you know what I mean, to try to see what it's about. You want to get the kind of players to see if they can acclimatise to the level of what you're doing, and then you start seeing how far you can go in that. But then the tests will come, because now they look like they're finishing in the top 4. The next season, people are going to be looking at Forest. They're going to have a target on their back because they're a team to beat now, because they're a Champions League team, and so they're going to have to deal with the pressures that come with that. So it's going to be interesting to see how they deal with that, but I'm sure it's a problem that they're going to be happy to have to deal with.
Absolutely. And the manager, he's so calm and measured. I remember being at the ground when they played Ipswich Town in the FA Cup, but it went to penalty shootout. I mean, all of their matches pretty much have gone to penalties, but they just seem to be really calm and composed in any situation they're in. And I think that emanates from Nuno, because he's exactly like that.
He knows what he's doing. He's got a plan. He's got a structure. Gives the players the confidence. They all know their roles and responsibility. Sometimes people like us overcomplicate it, but a manager like that who's pretty consistent and obviously tells everyone their roles, it's pretty simple then, really. But I think a lot of people want to go and play for Forest next season in the Champions League. And I don't think they'll have any problem with recruitment. I think the squad will be absolutely fine. I think they'll kick on. Maybe we've seen from teams like Newcastle when they've been in the Champions League and tried to fight, and even Aston Villa this season, it's been quite difficult to manage all that. I have a feeling that Forest will be fine, and I think they'll really kick on again.
And I think also when they were beaten quite heavily by Bournemouth, we thought, oh, how are they going to react? What's going to happen? But actually, they reacted perfectly well. They bounced back.
Yeah, I remember when we watched that. So I said that is perfect. The timing for them to lose like they did was perfect for them to reset them, because they needed that so that the manager could probably go in there and give them a real ear bashing about who do they think they are and do they think the season's over. You can't be playing like this. And I think the next game they won 7-0. You know? So we know that they can recognise when it's not going right, and they can dig in like we saw today and win games, or they can go to town and beat you like 7. You know, and penalty, like even with the penalty shootouts, you know, you got the manager who was a goalkeeper. Yeah. I feel there's some correlation in the fact that they can continue to win penalty shootouts because their manager was a goalkeeper at some stage. So it's going to be interesting to see how that one continues to pan out if they get to penalties.
Yeah, and talking about the goalkeeper you mentioned, Matt Sells, he's had a phenomenal season.
Unbelievable.
Most clean sheets.
Yeah, unbelievable. Look, I'm not a goalkeeping expert, seems, but I wouldn't like to try and score and shoot against him. But he's had a great season, and we talk about the centre-backs, we talk about the whole team, but the goalkeeper's been very special as well.
It's throughout the team, seems, from the goalkeeper, defence, the midfield, I love the midfield, and then the pace up front.
And I think it's a perfect time now to speak to one of their key men. Their captain, Ryan Yates, joins us live from the ground. Ryan, congratulations on another great victory. The smile says it all. Talk to us about how it feels to be part of this team at the moment, because all you keep doing is winning, and it's great.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a great dressing room to be in at the moment. Trying to keep our feet on the ground as much as we can, but yeah, it's going really well, and we're really enjoying our football.
Ryan, Ian Wright here. I just want to say congratulations with your season up to this point. I've got to say, like, last season being 17th, and now this season in the Champions League, we can say it, Ryan, because you probably won't, and you're probably going to get Champions League football this year. But how does it feel to have that transformation in the team? How hard have you lot worked to get to this point?
Yeah, thank you very much, firstly. Yeah, Ian, it's unbelievable, to be honest. To be able to just stay up for the first 2 seasons in the Premier League and then make massive strides forward this year. Yeah, I can't put it down to one thing, but like you say, just so much hard work from every single person at the club. You know what it's like. Just trying to build that right culture with the right mindset, the right people, and it's going really well. And yeah, we just don't want it to stop, because we know how difficult it is being at the bottom, and in looking over your shoulder, it's not a nice feeling. So yeah, finding at the top it's where you want to be. That's what it's all about.
Ryan, congratulations. I want to ask a little bit more about the manager, though, because surely you talk about the work rate, but there's quality, and what's he done and said to you guys to get you, as Wright said, from 17th to now on the edge of Champions League football?
I think it's just his consistency every single day, looking for, the ways he can manage his squad, get the best out of certain players, tactical small things that at this level make the difference. But I don't think it's one thing, but the one thing he has done, ever since he walked through the door, is be very stable and consistent, and that's exactly what this football club needed. And yeah, we've recruited incredibly good people and amazing footballers, and yeah, everyone's just so hungry to not only prove on an individual level how good they are, but collectively, before anything, that's what all the lads are doing. They're putting the team before themselves, and yeah, creating that amazing culture and environment to work in every single day. That's what he builds upon.
Right, I've got to ask you about what happened after the 5-0 loss. We was just talking about, went from the 5-0 loss, and obviously you won 7-0. What happened in that week after the 5-0 loss? Because I said that's going to be a massive reset for you guys, to give you that kind of like, right, let's wake up again.
Yeah, it was. I think, it's awful when you're on the end of a hammering, but I think maybe that was the best thing for us at the time. If they'd just, maybe we didn't play well at all and didn't get punished 5, it was only 1, we might have not learnt the same mistakes. I think it just proves how difficult the Premier League is. You look at the likes of Bournemouth, Brentford, Fulham, ourselves doing doing fantastic this season, coming from the Championship just a few seasons ago. And yeah, if you're not on it, we knew after Saturday's 120 minutes, if we weren't at it, we weren't going to get anything from the game tonight, because we knew how much quality Man United have.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just said before anything, just have no regrets and just give absolutely everything. And yeah, that's our main thing going into every game.
Perfect.
Ryan, talk to us about the feeling amongst the players when you're in training, around the ground, because it must just be so positive. And you surely must be talking a bit about Champions League football next season. A little bit of excitement, I'm sure.
Look at smile.
Yeah, I would be lying if I said it's, we're not speaking about it a little bit. I think it's just natural. I think, it's a fine balance, because I just know how cruel football is. You can go on fantastic runs, and if you get complacent, you can also lose 3 on the spin. I think a few years ago I'd be, already booking me fights with the family over to, X, Y, and Z in Europe. But I just know what it's like until things are not mathematically done. We just need to keep working, and we're gonna have a busy schedule with the FA Cup and everything. So yeah, we want to just be firing on all cylinders and just keep going, because we know how incredible the highs are, but how quickly the lows are just around the corner if you take your foot off the gas.
Brilliant.
Well, Ryan, congratulations on another great victory. You guys have been a joy to watch this season, so thank you for keeping us thoroughly entertained, and good luck with the rest of it.
Well done.
Well done. All the best.
If you're entertained, we're happy. Thank you very much.
See you, well done.
Brilliant
Nice one.
stuff. Oh, it was great, wasn't it?
Nice.
Really
Yes.
lovely
Well
interview.
done.
Lovely to chat to Ryan Yates. Let's now hear from his manager, Nuno Espirito Santo.
That clearance off the line from Murillo right at the end, does that just go to show how important every single player is in this team?
Yeah, every single one of them, even those that didn't participate in the game, are huge, and it's going to be important for us looking forward. Going to need all of them.
Anthony Elanga with possibly the perfect counter-attacking goal. There can't be anyone in training that beats him for pace.
Yeah, he's a special boy, and he gives these things that he has, this speed, this control of the ball. He just do it by himself was huge, and we are delighted.
And what about the performance from your captain, Ryan Yates, yet again, who is a bit of an unsung hero in this team?
No, not for us. We know what Yates gives is a special player for us, led from the club captain. It's the heart of the team.
Ola Aina was forced off injured in the first half. Just give us a bit of an insight into the change that you made after that as well, with taking Danilo off. What was your thinking?
Look, I think the game was going away from us. We were not able to control. United was creating too many situations, especially on the left side with Garnacho, and to leave there. Isolate Nico was a problem, so we decided the moment that the injury go to a back 5 so Morata could give a hand. I think it worked out perfectly, and the adjust on the second half was good. I think we started the second half really well, controlling, dominating, creating some moments that we didn't finish the actions, but that was the reason behind it.
On the injury to Aina, have you had a chance to speak to him to see how he is and maybe how serious that injury could be?
We don't know. Hopefully it's not too serious, but it's always a concern when a player injures by himself alone. So we have to do the scan, assess, and see how he goes.
It's the first time that a Nottingham Forest manager has done the league double over Manchester United since Brian Clough in '91. Do those statistics matter to you?
No. Of course, I think the records. I think the boys are breaking all of them, and we are. But today the City ground was part of the game also. You see, we were against the ropes. No need to hide it. After a long game that we had in the FA Cup. And the City ground help us. This clearance on the line is also of them, so thank you so much.
The dream is almost a reality, though. You're now 10 points clear of 6th place Newcastle as things stand. 45 years since Forest have been in the Champions League. Can you do it? You're nearly there.
Let's focus on the next one, Jules. It's day by day, so the next one is Villa. Let's prepare it well.
Day by day. We expected him to say that, didn't we? Great interview, and we are going to now...
This game was all about one man, Anthony Elanga. The former United winger made his old club pay with an explosive run from his own penalty box, covering 85 metres in just 9 seconds before smashing the ball into the net in the 5th minute. An absolutely breathtaking solo effort. Forest, who had won just one of their last 5 league games under Nuno Espirito Santo, showed no signs of missing striker Chris Wood. Their defensive resilience was on full display as they shut down United's attack for the rest of the match. Despite having 68% possession, Ruben Amorim's Manchester United side struggled to create any real danger in the final third. Their best chance came in the dying moments when Harry Maguire's shot was heroically cleared off the line by Murillo. This win is historic for Nottingham Forest. It marks their first league double over Manchester United since 1992, when the legendary Brian Clough was in charge. Ambulance injuries and what's next? Forest's night was slightly dampened by an injury to defender Ola Aina, who limped off in the first half with a calf problem. But they'll take a lot of confidence from this win as they now sit comfortably in third place, stretching the gap to 8 points over fourth-placed Chelsea. Meanwhile, United remain stuck in 13th place. Their focus now shifts to the Manchester derby this Sunday, a game that could be one of the few highlights in what's been an uninspiring league campaign. Can they turn things around and claim bragging rights over their city rivals? A massive win for Nottingham Forest and a frustrating night for Manchester United. Can Ruben Amorim's side bounce back in the derby, or will City pile on the misery? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Sport Lab for more football insights. See you next time.